Hey everyone, how's it going? So you're riding home with Kenny. So a couple of things. You guys liked my video in regards to that whacked out customer, and I wanted to tell you a couple other stories about some oddball customers that I've had to deal with over the years. Way back when I had my shop, this one customer used to come in. She had a Buick Estate wagon. It was like mid 80s, I'd say. Same thing as like a Chevy Caprice wagon, but it was a Buick Estate wagon. And she was one of the very wealthy customers that I had. We had some super wealthy customers, and it was a weird town. Like you went from extremely wealthy people to your average Joe. And the extremely wealthy people were usually very difficult to deal with, except this one family, the Rose family. And actually, I've mentioned him before. Look it up. Frederick Rose. He was phenomenal. He was an absolutely phenomenal customer. He was really cool, and he was a billionaire. And he was basically the guy that was like building skyscrapers and everything else down in New York City. And I believe now, since he's passed, he was an older gentleman back then. So since he's passed, they actually have a Frederick Rose not a stadium, a Frederick Rose building, like a couple places like that down there in honor of him. And he was a philanthropist and everything else. But he used to drive a little Honda Civic. And then his wife, she was a sweetheart of a lady. You know, you would never know these people were billionaires. And she drove a Honda Accord, and their going out to dinner vehicle, or going out on a town vehicle, was one of those Lexus full-size four-door sedans, the rear-wheel drive ones, when they first came out in the 80s, late 80s. One time he had me put one of the Dukes of Hazzard horns in the Lexus, which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah, he had me put that in the Lexus. The guy was pretty neat. Anyway, back to the Buick Estate lady. So the woman had a Buick Estate wagon, and it turned out she was a writer of children's books, and she was off the wall. So I don't recall what her name was, but her actual name, like her pen name, was different than, her author name was different than her actual name. I knew her by her actual name, and she was off the wall, like off the wall. So she brings her Buick Estate in, and she brings it in for a couple of things, like an oil change, and she said there's a vibration that I can't get out of, that just, it's driving me crazy. I can't figure out what it is, but it's vibration's driving me crazy. Okay. So I take it for a ride. I feel like a little vibration. I set the tire pressures, I balance the tires, I do tire rotation, stuff like this. And this is back in the day when it had the wire wheel hubcaps, where the little center cap would come off and you needed that special tool to get, you know what I'm talking about. So, I did all of that, and to me it felt great, no issues. So she comes to pick it up. She comes flying back in the parking lot. It's still doing it. Oh, okay, all right. Let's go for a ride. You drive. Now, she didn't go far. She only went around a block. And this is, this is the town of Rye, New York. It's like you can't go faster than 35 miles an hour legally on the back roads there. And we were in a very residential area right there. So she comes flying back in the parking lot. So, all right, let's go for a ride. So we go for a ride, and we're going down the street, and all of a sudden, I hadn't put my seatbelt on. All of a sudden, she slams on the brakes, almost puts me through the windshield. You feel that? You feel that? I'm like, no. What were you talking about? You got to point it out before you slam on the brakes. I can't drive this. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So she wouldn't drive it any further. So we traded places. So we start going down the road. And then she leans over and she grabs the steering wheel. Like, this is my steering wheel is right here, okay? So she grabs the steering wheel. She puts her hand like this on the steering wheel. And the steering wheel's got this like little slight movement, from when you're hitting stuff in the road, like the pavement. It's the road feel. And she goes, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. You don't feel that? I'm like, that's road feel. That's road feel. My Mercedes doesn't do that. This isn't a Mercedes. This isn't a Mercedes. This is a Buick estate wagon, a Chevy Caprice. The same thing as a police car. It's not going to ride the same as your Mercedes. But yeah, so after I explained that to her, she was perfectly fine with it. Perfectly fine with it. Oddball customers. Here's another one. Had a guy come in with a Chrysler Town & Country. I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did mention it, so I'm going to skip this one. I think I mentioned this in another video. But I had a customer at the very first Chrysler dealer I worked at. When I left my shop, when I lost the lease on my building and I had to leave my shop, I had 2 small children at the time, so I needed a job immediately. So the best paying job I could find was through a friend of mine. He got me a job at a Chrysler dealership that was in town on Westchester Avenue in White Plains, New York, Westchester Chrysler. Excuse me. So I start working there. Problem is, it's an hour ride away from my house. So, but it got my foot in the door for being at a dealership. So I was there, and after about a year, honestly, I realized it wasn't a place for me. So, but anyway, one time I get this relatively new Jeep Cherokee, you know, the square body. I think they're XJs. I don't know the acronyms, but I think they're called XJs, or that's the body designation. So it comes in. Customer's complaint is it's got no power on the highway. Okay. Kind of odd. They're with a 4-liter HOs. Those things, they ran pretty good. So I get in it, take it up on the highway. We were pretty close to Route 287 and go up on the highway with it. Speed limit at the time was 55. I'm doing 55, 65, 75. I have no problem passing people. I'm like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. I had scanned it for codes, nothing. So I get it back to the shop, and I tell the service manager, I can't duplicate what's going on with this car. So he calls the customer up. The customer's like, I can't believe you can't feel that. I'm like, well, can't feel it. What do you want me to tell you? So he's like, well, I'm going to come down there and I want the tech to go with me for a ride. Okay. So he comes down and he's like, I can't believe you can't feel it. I'm like, it feels fine to me. I don't know what you're talking about. My dad had a Cherokee, not a Grand, a regular Cherokee. So we go and we start driving it, and we go down Westchester Avenue, and then you have to take an on-ramp to get onto Route 287. So as he's taking the on-ramp, he starts accelerating. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 112-ish as we're getting onto 287. I mean, the man has got this thing matted, foot to the floor, okay? And we're doing about 112 miles an hour. It won't go any faster because it's a cinder block. And he's like, you don't feel that? I can't, my foot's on the floor. It won't go any faster. Dude, you're trying to push a cinder block through the air. It doesn't have that much power. That's as fast as these go. And I think there's a speed limiter. I'm not sure. You got to look that up. Because I could remember feeling it go, like it was struggling. It could not go any faster. That was it. It was at its limit. It would not go any faster. That was his complaint. That was his complaint. He actually gave us a bad review through Chrysler. I know I got a glare in there. He gave us a bad review through Chrysler because of the fact that we said there was nothing we could do with it. Yeah, like it was our fault. Our fault. So like I said, I was there for about a year, and then I left, and then I went up to the Chrysler dealer in Carmel, New York. Because it was literally, at the time, it was about 12 minutes away from my house, let's say. So it was perfect commute. No problem. You know, I got in the door there, and I think I've told you, I know I told you, it was like being in a family. It was like an extension of your family. And they genuinely made you feel that way. The owner, Bill, he was a fantastic guy. His son, not so much. Son was all about the money. But anyway, so I'm there, and I'm reasonably new to the place. And I remember we got a Chrysler LHS. The reason I remember it's a Chrysler LHS is because I loved those cars. I thought they were fantastic. I loved the way they looked. I thought they had beautiful lines to them. I loved everything about those cars. I wanted one in like the worst way, but I was not about to put myself in debt, with a car payment and stuff like that. So this Chrysler LHS comes in, and a woman's complaint was, and yes, it was a woman. It was an older woman. She was elderly, actually, a senior citizen. So her complaint was, when she gets up on Route 84, from one exit to the other, and it only happens on this one way, she gets a weird noise on the left side of her car. That's a pretty distinct description of her problem. Okay. So I take the car and I go the exact way she's talking. So now I'm thinking it's got to be something with the roadway. Like, it's got to be something with the way it's designed, whatever. It could be, like if somebody ran like a dozer or something like that on there might be marks from the tracks of the dozer, and I've seen that happen, where it'll make a noise and it's like, was that the car? So anyway, I get up on the highway, I don't notice anything. I actually go back and I try it again, and I had no idea what she's talking about. All right, I get back, I explain it to the service writer. Service writer calls the customer. The customer's like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to come down there and we're gonna have to go for a road test. Okay. So she comes down, and I was like, do me a favor, you drive. Because, and I've said it before, especially when you're dealing with an older customer, they may drive in such a manner that, I don't drive. Because I drive, heavy footed, and I admit that. And I try to drive like other people do, like light, heavy, stuff like that. I try to like duplicate all scenarios as I'm driving, and I can't always do it. I can't always create the same problems because of the way each person drives differently. So we go driving through town so she can get up on the highway, and she goes, now watch this, this is when it'll do it. So she goes, and she's on Route 311. Yeah, I think it was through 311, because she had to make the right to double back to come back. So she makes the turn and she gets on, and now she's in the emergency lane, the breakdown lane, as she's getting on the highway. As soon as you get on the highway, there's a rumble strip, the whole length. So she gets on the highway, and the left tires are in the rumble strip. And she's like, you don't hear that? I'm like, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like this, looking at the guardrail. It's like right next to us. I'm like, the problem is, you hear those cars honking at you? Yeah. Well, you're in the breakdown lane. Move over one lane so you're actually in the driving lane. You're not in a driving lane. Really? So, yeah, that was the whole problem. So, they're out there. Those people are definitely out there. They drive among us. All right. Well, that's it. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share a couple things with you. I thought it was just interesting. If you can, do me a favor. Below in the description, I have links to Amazon products that I personally use. And it would help me out if you gave them a click. If you buy something, I make a percentage on it. I make a little, I forgot what it is, a 2%, whatever. But I do make something on it, so it helps. It helps me out. So if you want to do that, that's great. If you just click on it, that helps with traffic sourcing. So it looks better for me if you do that. So I would really appreciate it. I'm not asking you to buy anything. If you do, thank you. But yeah, so anyway, I hope you got something out of that video. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.